Marketer and content creator Camille Mola says her neighborhood bar is serving up seafood dishes that really rock the boat. For an easygoing vibe and a few dozen clams, she heads to the Clam Tavern in Clifton Heights.
My name is Tony Blanche. If you knew me from Catholic school, my name is Anthony. I am the owner of the original Clam Tavern. Originally, it was Joe Zaglarski's bar. Dominic and Eleanor DiPangrazio inherited the bar in 1962, and they turned it into the Clam Tavern. I always had a dream of owning the Clam Tavern. I worked here as a kid in high school. I would lay in bed at night and just dreamt about, one day owning the Clam Tavern. Start out washing dishes like everybody does, and then you move up to the clam station. So one day while I was shucking clams, I found a pearl. I thought I was rich. I jumped on my yellow Huffy 10-speed bike. I rode to the McDade Mall, all sweaty and clammy. The guy says, "Oh, kid, hit the road. You smell, and this thing's not worth anything." Dejected, I went home, gave it to my mother. She saved it in the cedar chest with the booties and the blankets and my shirt from when I worked here. So I think Mom's pulling strings up there, and it's just been an incredible almost 25 years now. The commitment to quality and service is always been there, and I think I've taken it to the next level. We sell and serve so much seafood. We get fresh deliveries 3 or 4 times a week. You can't find fresher, better seafood than you can find here at the Clam Tavern. I mean, when I started here, we were doing the crab imperial and the stuffed shrimp and the baked clams and the clams casino. Whatever we do it great. Clam Tavern is part of the neighborhood fabric. We've been here since 1962 on this corner, and people have come to know us and to love us, and I'm so well supported by the people in the neighborhood.
Camille, Delco isn't necessarily the first thing that comes to mind when you think of seafood, so why did you pick the Clam Tavern?
I know, right? You don't think Delco seafood just doesn't always mesh, but the Clam Tavern is such a special place that I grew up going to. I grew up in Springfield. It's a place my family and I have gone to for so many years. I have great memories going there. I love everything about it, from the vibe to the food, so it was an easy choice for me to pick going there.
And as the expert, what is like a go-to dish that first-timers need to try?
That is a tough question, but I would say just start with the linguine and clams in a white wine sauce. You cannot go wrong with it. It's simple, it's delicious. It's something I would just recommend everyone try for the first time.
Ooh, David, you did well because you got the clams and linguine. How was it?
We got everything. We took 10 people because I figured why not, and we passed everything around. But you got to go with their baked clams. Really, their house clams are fabulous. Their seafood's fabulous, and you just described the place perfectly. You've been going there forever, and it's a place where everybody knows your name, even as a first timer. It was a fabulous, fun evening. Staff was great, staff was professional, everything was fabulous. We had 10 plates on a Saturday night, and they all came out at the same time, which is a challenge for a restaurant.
That's the best way to go, is you gotta get a bunch of people to come so that you could just kind of slide the plates and everyone gets to sample a little bit of everything. And the winner dinner, though, was someone else's dish.
My favorite of the night is the main course, and I'm not a big ravioli fan. The lobster ravioli in a pink sauce was fabulous, which brings me to my only complaint. They gotta get some better bread. So many of their meals had sauces. That was the only complaint I have of the place. It was fabulous. It was killer. But get some better bread.
You kicked off your meal, Robert, with the baked clams, which I gotta say is a Best of Philly alum in Philly Mag.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was fantastic. It's just a full dozen baked clams, garlic and butter. They were fantastic, yeah. And all the appetizers were great. I had the shrimp lejeune as well, and the clams casino, which when I was a kid was my favorite thing to get. So it was, and you don't see it on a lot of menus anymore. So it was great to see that. It was fantastic.
Man, those clams casino, they're just stacked high.
Yeah.
It's a great bite.
Absolutely.
What's in the clams casino?
Okay, let's see. We got bacon, red and green peppers, breadcrumbs, spices. It's delicious.
And then for your entree, Robert, you've got the filet mignon with some crab meat?
Yes, I was told so. I hadn't been there before, but a lot of my family goes there regularly from Delaware County, and they said it's not on the menu, but it's what they get every single time they go. It was delicious. The steak was cooked perfectly. There's a generous amount of crab meat. The sauce was delicious. The only thing, and I think it kind of goes back to the old school vibes of the restaurant, it had a lot of sun-dried tomatoes on it, which were fine. Could have done without it. Everything else was super delicious, but kind of feeling like late 80s, early 90s restaurant vibes with just covered in sun-dried tomatoes, but otherwise delicious. Entree.
David, I heard you drop a Cheers reference, and that kind of embodies this place, but there's seafood.
It is. I mean, we walked in, nobody could have been nicer. The staff was fabulous. They were greeting their regular guests, but couldn't have been nicer to us in a big, massive table. And I know I could go back, and I'd go back any time with different people, and I know I'd still be welcomed like an old family member.
So it's food first, but then it's kind of bar second. They do have like drinks. I know you got Pinot Grigio. What a move.
Yes, with some clams, it's perfect.
And you got a virgin, what was it, the Bloody Mary?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
how was it?
It was great. Yeah, it was a perfect old school Bloody Mary. Sometimes I don't like when places get like a little too fancy with a Bloody Mary. I just want the tomato juice and hot sauce and lemon.
You don't want all the pizzazz or all of the snacks?
I'll take some snacks. It's when they're adding like vinegar and some sort of bitters or something, when they're trying to like change the Bloody Mary. It's a standard old drink. I just want the standard old drink.
David, you're not a sweets guy, but with a table of 10, y'all like ordered probably every dessert
We
that
ordered
was
every
available.
dessert on the menu, and the lemon cake was loved by all.
Oh yeah.
The lemon cake everybody loved it, so I have to step aside and their judgment and bow to their judgment.
I really didn't have room for dessert at that time, but I was like, I'm doing this, I'm getting everything. So we shared the lemon cake, and no, it was delicious. And having a little bit of the citrus was really nice after sort of a pretty rich meal, a lot of butter and garlic and crab meat. So it was nice to have that at the end.
Oh, and you got triple chocolate cake.
Yeah.
You went bold.
We did. We went bold. We thought it was a big meal. We have to end it a big way. And that was a really nice way to do it, too. It was, between the three of us, it was like a perfect amount of a few bites for each person. And it was delicious. Really good.
And I know you described this place as straight out of 1989, but in a very good way.
It looks literally like a time capsule because it all looks new. The wood paneling, the ship's wheels, the fish tank. Like it felt like so old school, but in a great maintained way. Like it feels like you walked into a family restaurant in 1989. Not that it's just been sitting there since then.
And in terms of the value, was it a good bang for your buck?
I'd say generally it's not a cheap meal because it's seafood, but especially considering how much an entree can cost these days, it was consistent with. It was not high. It's not a hole in the wall cheap place, but it's if you're going to have a nice, it's not like a once a year dinner, just a regular nice dinner. For that, it was actually perfectly priced.
It seems like for the regulars, for people like your family, Camille, you go like some people go on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
it's like part of their family's routine.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's fair for everything you get, the experience, the amount of food that you get.
Yes.
So I'm quite happy with the prices there.
Awesome. Well, this was your pick. Sum it up in one sentence for us.
Cozy, comfortable, and clams.
David, what's the big takeaway?
Big takeaway is I really enjoyed that. Everybody I went with enjoyed it, and I'd go back anytime because I know I'll have a good time and a good meal.
All right, Robert, and sum it up for us.
And I'd also say, especially talking to family who do go, close to weekly, that consistency is a big thing, and that's why they've been open for 50 years, and it's still good and still visited by regulars because it has been completely consistent, and you're going to have a nice time every time.
Try out the Clam Tavern located at 339 East Broadway Avenue in Clifton Heights. 610-623-9537. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab per person without drinks is $45.